It was a Saturday night, and I was at the pool hall with my boys, leaning over the table, lining up my last shot. The cue ball clicked, the 8-ball dropped, and I called it game. We were laughing, talking trash, the sound of quarters clinking on the edge of the table. When, suddenly, my phone buzzed on the wood. The vibration echoed louder than it should have in that noisy hall. I glanced at the screen. The name filling it froze me. Jessica, 12:18 a.m. My little sister never called this late. I picked up, trying to sound casual. "Yo, what's up?" Her voice came through, rushed, nervous, almost whispering. "Bro, can you come get me from Beth's? Party's over. Lana left because she was sick, and I don't really know anyone else. A couple girls offered me a ride, but they said our place is out of the way, and I'm not taking an Uber after that creep cab driver story last week." A chill ran through me. "Yeah, that dude who tried to grab that girl, right?" "Exactly. Please, Dave." I sighed, glanced at my friends, and said, "All right, send me the pin. I'll be there in 15. They groaned, gave me crap about always bailing for my sister. But I grabbed my jacket anyway. As much as I hated ditching them, there was no way I'd leave Jess stranded at midnight. The drive out felt off from the start. The GPS kept rerouting me through dark back streets. Street signs were faded or gone, like the whole neighborhood wanted to stay hidden. My headlights swept across empty sidewalks and overgrown yards. I circled more than once, irritation building. "Damn, Jessica," I muttered, gripping the wheel tighter. "You always gotta ruin my night, huh? Where the hell is this party?" Finally, I spotted it. An old 2-story house with faint music leaking through the windows. The street was half lit. Quiet. Too quiet. I parked under a flickering street lamp, grabbed my phone to call her. That's when, knock knock, the passenger door rattled. Sharp and sudden. My chest lurched. I looked up. Jessica was already standing there. "Jesus, you scared the hell out of me," I said, unlocking the door. "Why didn't you come out the front?" "It seems the party is on the other side." She slid in slowly. Hoodie pulled low. The dim yellow glow caught her face, and something about it was wrong. Pale. Worn. Her skin looked cracked. My sister was picky about her skin, always fussing over it. This didn't look like her at all. Out of nowhere, she muttered, "I was just hating the noise. Sometimes I just hate too many people around me." I frowned, uneasy. "What? Hate noise? People? What the? Is this really you talking?" She didn't look at me, just murmured, "Just tired." I pulled onto the road, stealing glances at her. "You good? You look beat. What happened to Lana?" "She left early, was puking, and that cut on your wrist?" No answer, just her face turned toward the window, hair hiding half of it. The drive stretched on, streetlights flashing across her face like a strobe. My mind wouldn't stop. I kept going, peppering her with questions like some crazy lawyer. I couldn't help it. The caring brother in me was clawing its way out. I wanted to know what happened at that party, why she was acting like this, why she wasn't making sense. But her replies were short, clipped, almost empty. Finally, she snapped. Her voice dropped, deep and flat. "Dave, just shut up and drive." The words punched through the cabin like ice water. My blood went cold. That wasn't her. That wasn't Jessica's voice. "What?" I whispered, gripping the wheel. She didn't answer, didn't even move, just kept her face turned to the window. Then, ring ring. My phone lit up on the dash, vibrating against the plastic like a warning. The glow filled the car. I glanced down, and for a second I couldn't breathe. The name across the screen made my chest lock up. "Jessica. Incoming call." I froze. I've always thought of myself as a pretty sensible guy. And yeah, I'm a horror buff too. All those late night stories and movies, they were running through my head right then. But this was real. I kept telling myself, hold it together. Keep your composure. Stay sane. My hand shook as I reached for it. Slowly, I turned my eyes to Jessica sitting beside me. She was there, still. Her phone was on the dash. My mind screamed, "What the?" as I stared at the screen and then back at her. I answered, my voice trembling. "Hello? Bro, where you at?" Jessica's voice chirped. Light, normal, full of life. "I came home early with Lana, remember? We were supposed to talk to Mom about the apartment thing. I've been waiting. Where the hell are you?" My throat dried up. I glanced at the girl sitting next to me. Yeah, heading home," I muttered, barely able to form the words. Without turning, Jessica beside me repeated, "Home. Who was it?" "Mom." Every hair on my neck stood up. I forced out, "Yeah, Mom. She told me to grab milk and buns." Up ahead, glowing neon cut through the dark. Maple gas and Mart. Relief hit me, but only for a second. My chest was pounding so hard I thought it might split open. I pulled in fast, parked under the buzzing lights, and told her, "I'll be 2 minutes. Wait here." She didn't answer, didn't move. I stepped out, shut the door gently, and walked around the car like I was calm. But inside, I was seconds from breaking. When I pushed through the glass doors of the Mart, the smell of burnt coffee and fryer oil hit me. And for once, it felt like a blessing. There were people inside, strangers grabbing snacks, a couple of teens at the soda machine, the clerk behind the counter. Just seeing them made my knees weak. I wasn't alone anymore. They all turned to look at me as I stumbled in, wide-eyed, drenched in sweat. For a second, I swear they looked at me like I'd just busted out of jail. My chest was heaving, breath ragged. But to me, those stares were safety. I wasn't in that car anymore. I grabbed a cold bottle of water from the cooler, twisted the cap, and gulped it down like I'd been wandering a desert for days. The water ran down my throat, but it barely calmed me. Something made me glance outside through the glass. My Mustang sat under the buzzing lights, and inside, through the windshield, I saw her, Jessica, still sitting there, unmoved, perfectly still. My hands shook as I pulled my phone back out. I dialed Jess. "Jess, you home, right?" Her voice came groggy but playful. Yeah, bro. Didn't we just talk? What's wrong? You sound like you just woke up from a Freddy Krueger dream." I swallowed hard. Can I talk to Mom?" There was a shuffle. Then Mom's voice came through, calm, but firm. "Where are you, Dave? Jess ditched that party early so we could talk about the apartment rental thing. And look at you. Come home, honey." Her voice softened again. "Dave, honey, you there? Hello? Dave." But while she was saying it, I just kept staring at Jessica sitting in the car. I didn't even realize when my thumb pressed the hang-up button. My stomach dropped. My thoughts screamed, "Screw it. I can't go back in that car, man. Screw the car." I spotted the back door, and without thinking, I bolted like a starving cheetah ripping across the savannah, legs pumping at what felt like 150 kilometers an hour. My mind raced just as fast. What if whatever that thing was matched my pace? What if it caught me, dragged me back into that car? The thought alone made me run harder, faster, until finally, through burning lungs and trembling legs, I could see the warm glow of my home ahead. The house was warm. Before that, though, I was pounding on the front door like my life depended on it. My fists slamming the wood as if that other Jessica, the one from the car, was only steps behind me, sprinting closer. The door finally swung open, and there she was. Jessica, my real sister. I didn't even think. I just grabbed her and hugged her like never before. The familiar scent of her hair and clothes hit me, grounding me, telling me this was her. Really her. Mom was there too. They froze as I burst in, drenched in sweat, gasping for air. I told them everything, every detail. They laid me down, pressed a cold towel to my head, I was burning up. Fever of 103. That night, I couldn't sleep at all. Every time my eyelids shut, I saw her, that other Jessica, staring at me with an eerie smirk carved into her face. I'd jolt awake, heart racing, drenched in sweat. Despite being a grown man in my late 20s, all I wanted was my mom and my sister beside me. And they stayed. They sat by my bed, whispering comfort, holding my hand, making sure I wasn't alone in the dark. The next morning I woke up weak and shaky, every muscle aching as I forced myself out of bed. My legs barely carried me down the stairs, but my mom and Jessica were right there, holding me up, guiding me to the couch. They settled me down gently, like I might break. As I sat there trying to catch my breath, my eyes drifted toward the glass window overlooking the driveway. My Mustang sat in the garage, my head tilted. "Wait, how did—" Jessica quickly cut in. "Mom called Uncle Mark this morning. He got it back from the gas station." Almost on cue, Uncle Mark stepped out of the restroom, drying his hands on a towel. Yeah, the car was there, keys still in the ignition. The folks at the station were talking though, said some guy tore in like he'd just seen a ghost. Bolted out the back door without looking back. When they checked the car, no one was inside. I just sat there, staring at him. My mind turned over the same questions again and again, but none of them had answers. And maybe that was worse than anything else, that the questions would never be answered. Those thoughts haunt me still. I used to be a horror buff, prided myself on loving the thrill of a good scare. Not anymore. After that night, I cut it all out. No more horror movies, no late-night stories, no podcasts. I even took a break from work, from life, trying to find myself again. Because the more I think about it, the more the questions eat at me. Who was that Jessica look-alike? How did she have my number? How did she know where Jess was that night? What was she? What did she want from me? And why choose me for the ride? The more I ask, the more numb I get. Like my mind is shutting down before I reach an answer I'm not supposed to know. And above all, what was she planning to do with me had I stayed a little longer in that car? I can't stop thinking about how close I came. I was so damn glad Jess called me when she did. That call. It stopped whatever that thing was in its tracks. If it hadn't, I might have brought her home. And then what? Maybe I would have risked Mom's life. And Jessica's too. Sometimes the scariest thing isn't what you see in the dark. It's what you'll never be able to explain.